Douglas Cooling and Heating, serving the Birmingham area for 38 years. 988-3706. That's Douglas.
I'm James Spann. This is the morning edition of the Weather Xtreme video. This is for Thursday, the 14th of April. One more nice day today before potential for a significant severe weather issue tomorrow across the state. So let's get in there and dig deep and see what we've got. We'll start, as we always do, with our Skycam images, just to kind of look out the window. That's the Birmingham camera looking south from the top of the Daniel building. Sky mostly fair this morning. Temperatures are generally in the upper 40s and low 50s. Feels pretty good out. We'll go to Walker County. There's a look at downtown Jasper as seen from the King building. And up in Marion County, that's the Skycam in Hamilton, looking over at First Baptist Church. The Skycam there is located at the high school right across the street. Well, there's our developing trough out west. Hey, it's mid-April, and anytime you see something like that moving our way, that typically means some chance of severe weather, and sure enough, tomorrow could be one of those days. Here's our watch warning map. In advance of that, look at the winter storm watches up north for parts of Nebraska and the Dakotas. Little mid-April snow there, wind advisories to the south. Here's our convective outlook today. A moderate risk. It's an enhanced risk over parts of east Oklahoma, west Arkansas, and the surrounding or the adjacent states. That would include Tulsa and Fort Smith, and almost down to near Paris, Texas, and surrounding that a slight risk, the standard risk from Shreveport up to near Omaha, and that is almost into the Memphis area late tonight after midnight. And then tomorrow, there you go, got the enhanced risk, the moderate risk over eastern Mississippi and the western two-thirds of Alabama. And, of course, surrounding that, we got the standard risk all the way from the central Gulf Coast up to near Indianapolis and St. Louis. So, needless to say, it will be one of those kind of days. There's the probabilities in association with that. 45%. That means almost a 50-50 chance of severe weather within 25 miles of a given point tomorrow. And then on day 3, we've got a slight risk. That's Saturday to the east from Savannah and almost Jacksonville up to near the Tidewater area up in Virginia. QPF chart, the rain with this. This is valid through Monday evening of next week at 7 o'clock. And this is suggesting rain amounts of 1 to 2 inches for much of the northern half of Alabama. Right, this is the GFS, the OZ run, valid at 1 o'clock this afternoon. There's the trough to the west. But one more nice day. We're expecting a high around 80 today, maybe low 80s in West Alabama. Surface low developing east of Gage, Oklahoma. And late today and tonight, severe storms will erupt east of the dry line over east Oklahoma up into northeastern Texas. And, of course, we'll be watching that carefully overnight. And then tomorrow, very strong upper low. And we note that this run has it positioned a little farther south. The core of the upper low is located south of Kansas City, and the surface low will be directly underneath that. And if anything, that might increase the chance of large hail. We've seen some of the hail indices suggest we might see baseball-sized hail with the stronger storms that form with these things. So that's one concern. Let's get down there and look at the RPM. Now, the one thing I'll tell you, the last couple of runs, and the RPM runs every 3 hours, have been faster. And accordingly, we're going to have to make some adjustments in the timing here. This is valid at 10 a.m. tomorrow. And at that point already, severe convection seems to be approaching the northwestern corner of Alabama. We've been talking 3 to midnight. Well, I'll tell you now, based on the consistency in the RPM out of respect with that model, we're going to go ahead and move the time frame up, and we're going to talk about the possibility of severe storms in West Alabama as early as late tomorrow morning. We'll go ahead and open up that window at 10 a.m. We'll go to 1 o'clock, and the RPM wants to develop a line of convection through West Alabama. And again, I think ahead of that, there's not much inhibition for convection. In other words, the cap would not be all that strong, And we fully expect in advance of that there will be some discrete cells that could produce tornadoes. And those, of course, are the ones that are always the most dangerous ones. 5 o'clock in the afternoon, it's got that line running from near Scottsboro down to Birmingham and down to near Thomasville. And, of course, with the line itself, you could see damaging straight-line winds. And then at 8 o'clock, it's coming through Anniston. And the precipitation should be ending over there in West Alabama, and then by midnight, it's out of here. It's a pretty large window, and of course, understand, this projected radar reflectivity you're seeing here, it's not going to look exactly like that. We all know that. This is simply a guideline, but I think the idea is very clear that we're going to have all modes of severe weather tomorrow. And again, we're going to say from 10 a.m. in West Alabama up until probably 10 p.m. for the eastern side of the state. Now, we'll look at some of the severe weather parameters. First off, the instability. This is simply buoyancy, the ability of air parcels to rise, one of the key ingredients in a severe weather event. And this is valid off the NAM at 7 p.m. And the NAM is slower than the RPM. And it's got the better instability axis well to the west at 7 o'clock. The RPM was moving the line through Birmingham at 7 o'clock. Well, the NAM is much slower. But you can see that the numbers have been creeping up. In fact, this is suggesting the surface-based capes could exceed 3,000 joules over parts of Mississippi. So the numbers are clearly coming up. Initially, we were concerned about those low capes might kind of limit this thing, but the numbers are clearly higher. This is the low-level helicity, the veering of the wind between 0 and 1 kilometers in relation to storm movement, storm relative helicity. And those numbers are exceeding 350 in spots. And again, that's clearly enough for, tornadic formation. EHI numbers very high, anything over really 1.5 to 2, very significant. And the numbers just almost off the chart down there in southwest Alabama and southeast Mississippi. That's where the instability values are higher, but certainly that, in fact, even going into Tennessee, you got some very high RHI numbers, or EHI numbers, Energy Helicity Index. All right, here's the STP. This is the significant tornado parameter. And again, this is valid at 7 o'clock tomorrow evening. Really anything over 1 or 2 is a big deal. And this thing is showing us values over 7 units down there over southwest Alabama, with numbers over 5 up into west Alabama. So again, anytime you see numbers like that, that is of great concern. And the Craven-Brooks Severe Weather Index is off the chart. Jeff Craven is our friend. He's up at the National Weather Service in Milwaukee now. They developed this composite index, I guess, about 10 or 12 years ago, but it works very well. And again, that's basically the combination of shear and instability. So all modes of severe weather are possible. And again, we're going to open up the window now as early as 10 a.m. over West Alabama, which is a significant change from what we've been talking about. It might be later than that, but we're just doing that out of respect to the RPM. And then the event could go on into the 10, 11 o'clock tomorrow night in East Alabama. So everybody will need to pay attention to watches and warnings. And if you're watching this video, you do that. Our concern, it's those folks that don't pay attention to the weather. All right, Saturday, it's race weekend at Talladega. And, of course, we got 20,000 campers out there, and that's, of great concern. But for race weekend, the weather's going to be fine. This is the upper chart on Saturday. Down below that, the surface low is over Michigan. And there'll be wraparound moisture. And up in the Tennessee Valley, they could stay cloudy much of the day Saturday, but we're going to forecast clearing down here. Cooler, the high 67 to 70. Sunday, just gorgeous. What a day for the Aaron's 499. Sunny with low to mid-70s. Low humidity, just perfect. All right, and next week on Monday, this latest run keeps us dry. Humidity values kind of creeping up. Will be close to 80. There's Tuesday, still dry. Heavier rain to the north. And Wednesday, here's the deal. This is middle of next week. You got ridging over Florida. And the core of the westerlies just north of here. And it's kind of a battle there between the ridge and the westerlies. And we're kind of in that zone where it's going to be a close call. But clearly the ridge and the warmer air aloft is kind of influencing the pattern there, suggesting not much rain on Wednesday with a cold front to the west. And then Thursday, a week from today, kind of muggy air, but again, with the ridge, maybe nothing more than scattered showers. We'll check the end of the forecast on the 29th of April, after toward the end of the month. Look at that trough. And that would be maybe stormy at some point in through there. But then again, hey, this is, April in Alabama is supposed to be stormy. That's it for the Weather Xtreme video today. We'll have notes on the blog. The next video here by 3:30 or so today. And if you're local to us, we invite you to watch us on television this evening, ABC 3340 in Birmingham at 5, 6, and 10. Thanks for watching. Have a great day, and God bless.